What's on CTV? Well, up close and personal, it is back. It's bigger and better than ever this year. It has its very own show. And the lady behind the creation is Andrea Dijkstra. Andrea, thank you for joining me.
Hey, Megan.
This is so good to see, isn't it, that Up Close and Personal now has its own show, because of course we saw snippets last year, we met some amazing people, but now it's got its own show, which is great.
Right here on Good Living though, it was because of Good Living that it really got its great platform, wasn't it? And we got great response, because everyone loves seeing real people on telly, and I think if anything, that's the real story about it, is that people love seeing themselves on telly and seeing real stories. Yeah,
that's what it's all about.
It is, that's what it's all about, you know. And obviously last year we had some great stories, but because we went outside Good Living, then we could actually open it up to different topics, and not one story this season is like any other.
So they're all completely different.
It's all completely different, and it's been a bit of a challenge, but you know, it's amazing with the resources that we have. Like, literally, I mean, there has been a couple of shoots where we had like 2 cameramen, but that was very rare. But most of the time it was myself and primarily Jabalani, JB, one of the cameramen here, and it would be just us, but it was great. It was a great energy. You know,
just the two of you doing everything. It's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, but you love it because it's such a privilege that people give up their time to us, because most of them are very busy in their lives, but you know, giving up a full day to have a crew following you around is quite lovely. And
letting you into their lives, and of course these are all local people and local organisations, which are very special to us here in Canterbury. So can you tease some of the good ones that are coming up? They're all good, but there's some amazing stories.
Well, it is funny because the first episode that we have was actually pushed, a story was actually pushed up within it because of the local shootings here with the police. Because unfortunately, or with television, fortunately for us, 2 of the constables involved were in our story were actually there at the shooting, and one of them was actually shot. So we've actually pushed that up. So next week, Tuesday, we'll see their story, so the Canterbury Police. And we've got a wee clip that we're going to show, just a wee teaser. You're not going to find out exactly what happens, but it's a clip from On the Beat.
Okay, so here we go.
So normally if you sort of don't just charge in, you might be able to hear something from the outside. So there's lights on. All seems quiet now. Hello.
Oh.
Hi, how are you?
Oh. That's a bit thanks.
Is there a female that lives here?
No.
Right. Your information was that it was at this flat, it was a male and a female. It's actually a father and a son who's asleep. So we'll go and talk to the person who phoned us and see if we can get a better location for this. Well, these are supposedly the people who phoned us. When we knocked on the door, they turned their light out, and now they're not answering, which is kind of handy.
So there you go, that's a wee taste. That's On the Beat, which Up Close and Personal kicks off with. That must have been quite an eye-opener, being able to spend time with those guys within the force on that night.
It was, and it was a bit surreal when we found out, especially for JB and also for Stephen, who actually cut the story, because you really do get to know them quite well in a night. And I was just laughing at Mike because he was a true character. You know, he would probably want to be on 10/7 one day, but he was a great talent and he was so ready for the camera.
Yeah.
But you'll see some funny things that happen on the night, but that's only a teaser. But you know, coming up, the Carmelite Nuns here in Canterbury, we spent a day with them, and that was an absolute pleasure.
Wow.
And anyone that says they're in complete solitude, they haven't met them, because we couldn't shut them up. They were great, they were talking. I know, they were amazing.
And some big Sir Cliff Richard fans out there too.
Oh yes, we spent the day with Sir Cliff Richard Club, and they are just passionate about this man, and he lives on the other side of the world. But yeah, there's Ranadale Home, we're behind the bars in the prisons. AA, Alcoholics Anonymous, that's coming up 75 years this year, so we had the privilege, they actually held a meeting we could attend. So
brilliant. So that is Up Close and Personal. Now remember, it starts next Tuesday, Tuesday the 17th, right here on CTV at 8:30 with On the Beat, so make sure you don't miss it. Thank you very much, Andrea.